What's up, everyone? So today you might not recognize we're inside. We are outside today. So not every day, but sometimes we're gonna do it outside. So today we're gonna be reading Egyptians by Stephanie Turnbull. Egyptians by Stephanie Turnbull. Illustrated by Colin King. People of the past. Egypt is a hot country in North Africa that the people who lived there are thousands of years old. Also called ancient Egyptians. The picture is part of an ancient Egyptian wall painting. It shows a group of servants. Egyptian paintings often show things from side to side. River life. The ancient Egyptians built their towns and cities along a river called the Nile. This photograph of Egypt was taken from space. The river and its banks look dark green. River Nile, Red Sea. The yellow parts are dry, dusty deserts. The Egyptians fished in the river and sailed boats on it. They drank water from it and used for washing clothes. This is an ancient Egyptian model of a boat. People swam in the Nile, but they had to watch out for crocodiles. Farmers. Egyptian farmers grew fruits, vegetables, and other plants on the banks of the Nile. This Egyptian painting shows farmers picking the grapes they have grown. Farmers train monkeys to pick fruit from high trees and throw it down. The Nile flooded every year. This made the soil good for growing plants. When the land dried up, plants grew in the sun. Farmers worked hard in fields. Farmers kept some of the crops to eat and took the rest to the market. At home, ancient Egyptian houses were made of dried mud and painted white. Houses had small windows to keep the hot sun. People cooked food and baked bread outside. Some people had a pool in their garden, which they kept for fish to eat. Egyptians slept on hard wooden beds with wooden armrests instead of pillows. Rich people often had servants. This model shows servants working hard at baking bread. Kings of Egypt. Egyptian kings were called pharaohs. The pharaoh was the richest and most important person in the whole country. A pharaoh made laws and gave orders. He led his soldiers to fight enemies. He went out hunting in his chariot. He also met visitors from other countries. All pharaohs wear crowns. Some were decorated with gold and jewels. This is a painting of Ramesses III. He is wearing a gold crown and a long striped headdress. Pharaoh Ramesses II had a pet lion to scare away enemies. Gods and goddesses. Ancient Egyptians believed in many different gods and goddesses. Egyptian gods sometimes looked like animals. This goddess, called Hathor, was often shown as a cow. In this wall painting, Hathor has the horns of a cow on her crown. Sekhmet was a fierce war goddess. Ra was the powerful sun god. Bes looked after their children and families. Mat was the goddess of truth. Horus looked after pharaohs. Seth was the evil uncle of Horus. Horus and Seth were enemies. They once turned into fierce hippos to fight. Temples. The Egyptians built huge stone temples to worship pharaohs and gods. Hold on, guys. I'm very sorry. Hold on. Forgot about that, guys. Really forgot about that. Temples. The Egyptians built huge stones temples to worship pharaohs and gods. This is the temple of Pharaoh Ramesses II. Each statue inside the temple is more than 10 times taller as a person. In temple, priests paid to a statue of a god or a pharaoh. On special days, they carried the statue through the town. This is a statue of Anubis, a guy who could change into an animal called a jackal. People often had small statues of gods at home too. Making a mummy. When an important person died, Egyptians wrapped their body so it didn't rot. This is called making a mummy. First, they took out the person's insides and put them into pots. 2. They packed the body in salt to dry it out. 3. Next, they wrapped the body tightly in bandages. 4. Finally, they put on a mummy mask and laid it in a coffin. Egyptians made animal mummies too. This person's insides were kept in pots with lids and knees. Each pot has a godhead. Coffins were shaped to look like a person and covered with spells and pictures. Giant pyramid. When a pharaoh died, his coffin was put in an enormous stone pyramid. The large pyramids were built for these different pharaohs. The smaller pyramids were for the families. Workers cut stone blocks and dragged them along. They put the blocks up a ramp onto the pyramid. After many years of work, they put them on the last stone on top. Finally, workers made the pyramid smooth and shiny. Hidden treasures. The tomb of the pharaoh Tutankhamun was hidden for thousands of years. In 1922, explorers found a secret door hidden behind rocks. Inside, the rooms were crammed with glittering treasure. It took 10 years to clear the tomb and list all the amazing treasures. This falcon was one of the many beautiful statues in the tomb. This big, heavy mask covered the face of Tutankhamun's mummy. It is made of gauze and thin strips of glass. Fun and games. Egyptians loved sports and games, as well as music, dancing, and parties. Some people learned to play instruments like this harp. Men liked to have boating contests on the river Nile. Whoa, sorry guys. The team pushed the other boat over, won the game. This painting shows a man hunting with his family. He is standing on a boat and throwing a stick at birds. At parties, people enjoyed watching dancers perform all kinds of difficult moves. Dressing up. Egyptians liked to look good. They wore simple flowing clothes and lots of jewels. This wide gold necklace is shaped like a bird. It was made for a pharaoh. See, guys? People often put perfume fat on their heads as it melted. It made them smell nice. Men and women wore loose, light skirts and dress that kept them cool. They decorated the clothes with rings, bracelets, necklaces, and other jewels. Everyone wore makeup too. They put lots of dark paint around their eyes. Most people shaved their heads to keep cool. Adults usually wore wigs. Egyptian writing. Egyptian writing was made up of lots of pictures called hieroglyphs. People called scribes could read and write hieroglyphs. The statue below shows a scribe. A scribe's job was to write the letters and keep records. He also had to teach children to read and write. These hieroglyphs were painted on a tube. They are spells to protect a dead person. Most ordinary people didn't have a clue what hieroglyphs meant. The end. So tomorrow we're going to be reading the Maya by Jerome Martin.
The Maya.
This is Owen Hennigar signing off.